All right, Coach. So let's start with a 19-point lead, and then obviously you guys lose the Seton Hall game. Take us through how it could go so right, and then things can malfunction the way they do.
Yeah, in every situation, when people say you're leading at halftime, well, you cover NBA basketball. The halftime score is meaningless in football, meaningless in basketball. Halftime score means nothing. And the other team coming out of the locker room, you have to be ready for their assault of being down. Mm-hmm. We came out and we took bad shots right away. And one is our leader, took some bad shots. And it leads to, when I say we're slow laterally, we are. We don't have to be slow laterally if we take good shots because we're all in position to help each other. If I'm by myself and you're coming at me and I'm a little slow laterally, I'm in trouble because you're coming at me and I'm backpedaling. If I have my guys back because we took a good shot, that won't happen.
Okay, so, and I said this during the broadcast, I said, they're having a rough time getting a shot. And I think it's not the plays you draw because we know the plays are sound, but to me it's the inability to get free and then have the defense react to somebody getting burned, and now they're like recovering and guys are open. That's kind of what you mean with quickness as well, right?
Well, they stripped it too much from us, and it led to fast breaks. There's two areas of great concern. Our goes. So if we're shooting a low, you'll never hear me knock a player for shooting a low percentage when he's open, because we have a bunch of players shooting 20%, 20%, 23, 24 from the three. I'll never stop them from taking a good shot. What bothers me are our offensive rebound attempts. We want to go 80% of the time. So the goes are very important when you don't shoot well.
You've talked about that all year, the goes, going to get that backboard, going to get that carom. So the press conference, before we even get to what was said, and there's been a lot of reaction, as you know, what have you learned? Listen, Rick Pitino didn't forget basketball. Everybody knows that, but it's a different game. You've got to apply it differently, how you construct the roster. Knowing what you now know, roster building moving forward, what does Rick Pitino do differently?
Well, we had no choice. We had to fill a roster. There were reasons why I couldn't keep some of the players that were here. Okay. We don't need to go into that.
I got you.
Were things said the wrong way, I was very calm, very collected, and wanted my players to read what I said.
Okay.
So it was premeditated, okay?
Okay, I was in the room, I got you. You were calm.
I was very calm.
Yeah.
And I want them to understand that, why we lose and why we foul and we're not quick laterally, and I want them to work on those things. That being said, I've got to take the blame. For if it hurt anybody, if anybody was disturbed with what I said, calm and collective, and I realize if that's that type of reaction, I do realize it's New York, and if it is that type of reaction, then I will correct things the right way. I will say this, the staff has worked very hard. The players have worked very hard. We could have won some games that we shouldn't have won. I wouldn't grade out my performance very well. But there are a lot of times I wouldn't have graded out my performance very well in other years as well. Yep. But I do learn. I'm a fast learner.
Okay, so we have a whiteout coming up, which will be fun. Good teams coming into the guard. Creighton. Whiteout last year I was there for it. It was intense. It was really cool. What do you expect this weekend coming? Good team. You guys actually hung with them pretty well.
They've got great talent. And you know what's interesting? Because I tell this to Joel all the time. Their center's the defensive player of the year. Probably going to win it again. What makes him so great defensively? You know what it does? Doesn't foul.
Okay.
He doesn't foul.
Is it because he's quicker laterally?
No, he plays vertical. Everything he does is vertical. Yep. So when you drive on him, he goes straight up like a volleyball spike. And that's the way you got to play today. You'll see it. You got to go straight up with your arms like this. Can't be like this. Straight up in the air like a volleyball spike. And that's what you have to do defensively right now.
I actually heard you saying, because I can hear you, because I'm right next to you guys on the bench, at least not at the Garden, we're up high. I heard you say that to Joel. We worked on that, go up, go high, go vertical, the rule of verticality, the old rule in the
Yes, if the official sees both hands up, he can't say you have one hand here. If you're in a and sometimes Joel will do this, he'll come down, and that's when they get you, the referee will motion to me like you go down.
Do you still envision a run with this team? Can you, like where you guys win a couple in a row, get to the right spot mentally, tighten up what you got to tighten up, and present real issues during the Big East tournament?
I don't know. I'd be I could be positive and optimistic, like I said, win 6 games. I could be pessimistic and say no. The honest answer is I don't know. I don't know. I know they'll play hard. I know they'll be well prepared. I just don't know the answer to that. I think every game is different.
Yep.
I couldn't tell you. I think there are teams out there that we're supposed to beat. I'm not sure we will beat them. And there's teams that are better than us. I'm not sure we won't beat them. So you just don't know. You just when you're first building up, you just don't know. And I couldn't answer that. Give you an honest answer. I could be optimistic, foolishly optimistic.
No, appreciate your transparency. I think fans do as well. I think that's the only way to do it. I mean, listen, there's a lot of pressure on you. I mean, no matter what happens, the legend is secure. I mean, not to placate you, but you're one of the best college coaches of all time. Go back to the 40s. You are, and everybody who knows the game knows that. Do you struggle, right now, knowing that there are questions that you don't have the answers to that maybe you always did have the answers to?
No, I never did have all the answers. I can assure you
Maybe
that.
more answers than now, though, given how things are
I
changing.
don't have the answers to this NIL and the portal. I have the answers to building a team, to building a culture.
All right, Coach, you know him incredibly well. Brought him from Iona. Jenkins he's wiry, strong. He's got guts. There's never a big shot he doesn't want to take. How nice is it to see him as an extension of you going out there and not just scoring and being effective in the stat sheet, but I can see him trying to coach up his teammates. Like, what a player and what a season he's had a really big time season.
He is, and the only times he'll really make glaring mistakes is when I've played him too much and I've fatigued him. Don't be accusing me of Tom Thibodeau now, because that poor guy, the Knicks are playing great.
Yeah.
Eric Brunson's playing awesome, and he gets accused of playing.
Yeah, for 20 years, it's not good enough because they stink. Now they're good. They play too hard. I mean, you can't win.
I know. So, but I wish I could get Danis. I tried last night getting him out right before certain timeouts, just to give him a little more rest, but he's had a great year, offensively as well as defensively.
Can you see, or I'm sure you're calculating this, like, all right, here's the score, here's the time, next TV time coming out now. You're probably already deeply calculating, I can't give him too long because without him, the offense looks so different. I got to get him back in fast. You know that, right?
It is. Look, you look at statistically, right? In conference play, shooting almost 45%, 39 from 3, 80% from the line, averaging 3.4 rebounds, 73 assists, 34 turnovers, 19 steals.
Yeah, he's been your best player.
By far. By far. There's not a second best with that young man.
Okay. Rick, pleasure. Thanks. Thank you very much. There he is, Rick Pitino, head coach, St. John's. Quick one. Back with more of the Red Storm Report next.